ట్రెండింగ్ బిజినెసెస్లో చాలా తక్కువ చూస్తుంటాం. అట్లీస్ట్ ఈ మధ్య షార్క్ ట్యాంక్ కానీ ఇవన్నీ వచ్చేసరికి వాళ్ళు కూడా వస్తున్నారు, విమెన్ కూడా వస్తున్నారు, ఆ నోషన్ అనేది తగ్గిపోతుంది చాలా వరకు. మీరు ఇవన్నీ స్టార్ట్ చేసే టైంకి ఎలా ఉండే రెస్పాన్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే సపోర్ట్ కానీ?
So I think one advantage may be that I was already famous as a singer when I went into entrepreneurship kada. So when I went to meet clients in a corporate company, most times they'll be like, what is this singer doing here? Ani. So when I went in to have a meeting with somebody in HR or whoever was making the decision as to this amount of content from this company will be translated. So we have worked with some of the biggest companies to translate their content, their software or anything else. Appudu it used to be very surprising or shocking for a lot of people. They had no clue why I was walking in. And later when they would go back and sometimes when an interview would come, appudu Hindulo oka article ochindi Friday review lo where I think they said multitasking with Chinmay ani it happened, and then they spoke about everything that I was doing. Appudu అందులో బ్లూ ఎలిఫెంట్ అన్న ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ సర్వీసెస్ కంపెనీ చిన్మయి చేస్తుందంటే అక్కడి నుంచి దేర్ వర్ అ లాట్ మోర్ పీపుల్ హూ సెడ్ ఐఎమ్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ సీయింగ్ వాట్ యూర్ డూయింగ్ అని. ఫ్రమ్ దేర్ హౌఎవర్ ఐ థింక్ దిస్ థింగ్ ఆఫ్ స్కిన్ కేర్ అండ్ హెయిర్ కేర్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, that was a completely different interest. It was very random also. K-beauty enti ani appude it was picking up in the US. After the language barrier of Korean skincare and everything, there were some OG people who were talking about K-beauty and how great it is. Our blogs choosy, I went down that rabbit hole, started using K-beauty myself and saw how beautiful it is with the ingredients and formulation and how superior their products itself are and affordable as well. But I really loved how their products worked on both the skin and hair, and the concept of actually marrying their own herbal medicine and cutting edge science in creating their products. And I found that there is and I can, as an Indian brown skin person, I could speak about it ani. Akkadi nunchi the logical extension was to bring in services, world class aesthetic dermatological services especially in tech. So in our clinic, Deep Skin Dialogues lo we brought the best machines that you can find in the world, US FDA approved for laser hair reduction gani, tattoo removal, skin tags gani, deeniki daniki annitiki. And that was the one thing that I wanted to do. If we invested in something, we brought the best. There was no in between in ippudu oka chinna machine to start cheddam aa tarvata. Yes, it was a very very big financial decision to make, but this was the one thing that we saw. If somebody came to Deep Skin Dialogues, they knew that the tech was the best in the world, and then trained technicians, the nurses basically, and of course the dermatologists to support. So ippudu in general there is a lot of controversy around sunscreen use and is this or is this not, but ippudu manam chustunte the sun, the atmosphere and everything is not as it was when we were children. సో ఇప్పుడు సన్లైట్కి అలర్జీ డెవలప్డ్ అయ్యి దానివల్ల ర్యాషెస్ కానీ దానివల్ల ఇచ్చింగ్ కానీ అలాంటివి ఉంటాయి. సో స్కిన్ కేర్ ఇస్ నాట్ జస్ట్ వన్ ఏస్థెటిక్ బ్యూటీ, ఫెయిర్నెస్, వైట్నెస్ అలాంటివి కాకుండా దెర్ ఆర్ లాట్స్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ అలోపేషియా అన్నటువంటి ఒక కండిషన్ ఉంది, వేర్ జస్ట్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ అన్ ఆటో ఇమ్యూన్ ఇష్యూ పీపుల్ లూజ్ ప్యాచెస్ ఆఫ్ హెయిర్ ఆన్ దేర్ బియర్డ్, ఆన్ దేర్ ఫేస్, ఆన్ దేర్ ఐబ్రోస్. And if it is they're lucky if it is just patches. Sometimes there's something called alopecia totalis or universalis, where there is actually not even one strand of hair from top to bottom of their body. Eyebrows nunchi anni potai. So alantivi, it is also a health related thing, because the skin, hair and nails is one of the first signs of, it will show you if something is not okay inside your system. And this is also the first line of defense. So skin lo gaani, hair lo gaani ఏదోనో రాసుకుంటే అది మన బ్లడ్ స్ట్రీమ్కి పోయి బ్లడ్ స్ట్రీమ్ నుంచి కడుపులోకి పోయి అలాంటివి కాదు, బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అవర్ ఫస్ట్ లైన్ ఆఫ్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ అ స్పంజ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ అ డిఫెన్స్ మెకానిజం, ఇట్ ఈస్ అ కవర్. బికాస్ ఆ తర్వాత కట్ తర్వాత ఇంజురీలో ఇన్ఫెక్షన్ అయితే మేబీ అట్ దట్ పాయింట్ ఇట్ కెన్ గెట్ ఇన్ టు సంథింగ్, బట్ ఈవెన్ దెన్ దెర్ ఆర్, our body is in a manner that it helps to protect you. So especially with using of sunscreens or it's a part of also making sure that you know, for example, ridges on the nails, white spots on the nails, all of this also indicate a deficiency. If there is darkness around your mouth or around your nose, or there is something going on with the scalp health, there is something else that is going on with your skin. సో అవన్నీ ఒక ప్రాపర్గా ఒక డాక్టర్తో చూపించుకోవచ్చు అండ్ టు గెట్ అ రీజనబుల్ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ట్రీట్మెంట్ ప్రోటోకాల్ as well. సో that's what I think.
సో స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి ఎండింగ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ డయాగ్నోసిస్ నుంచి మొత్తం ట్రీట్మెంట్ అంతా ఎవ్రీథింగ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ ఇస్.
Yes. So for me, I think as an entrepreneur, how has it been? How is it? అంటే పీపుల్ ఆర్ ఆల్వేస్ క్యూరియస్. అంటే చిత్రమ్మ కూడా అప్పుడు చెప్తూ ఉండేది దట్ you shouldn't be diversifying your attention into other things. You have a talent, you have a very special talent. Because ఒకప్పుడు when Chitramma was given an interview, she was interviewed when I debuted in 2003-4 or something, asking, somebody had asked her saying that me tarvata who do you think will be a great playback singer in your footsteps or something, and she named me. Just one response, it was Chinmay. It was in a Tamil newspaper, so I took a cut out and I kept it there. And in another reality show where she's still a judge, I went as a guest and I said, I'll never forget what you said. And she said, I still believe it. And she would actually come and say, నీయే ఎందుకు నువ్వు you're doing all of these other things, ఆ ఎనర్జీ మొత్తం కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేసి నువ్వు మ్యూజిక్లోనే ఇవ్వచ్చు కదా, you can go to the next level kada. Ante I said there are some decisions I've taken because of whatever it is. KJ Yeshudas garu gani, Chitramma gani, they are old school Puritan people. They believing, and they are absolutely right in their belief system also, that if you're good in something, you're gifted in something, that they there is a divinity and a purity and a godliness to music. సో ఇక్కడి నుంచి డైవర్ట్ అయ్యి నువ్వు ఏమేమో చేస్తున్నావు, డబ్బింగ్ అవన్నీ చేయకు అని చెప్పారు ఒక్కసారి నాకు యేసుదాస్ గారు. కానీ నేను ఎస్పీబీ గారిని ఇన్స్పిరేషన్గా తీసుకున్నా. హి ఇస్ నథింగ్ అండర్ ద సన్ ద మ్యాన్ హెస్ నాట్ డన్. హీస్ డన్ డైరెక్షన్, ప్రొడక్షన్, ఐ డోంట్ నో ఇఫ్ హీస్ డన్ లిరిక్ రైటింగ్, హీ మస్ట్ హ్యావ్, composing, editing, acting, dubbing, singing of course. So what has the man not done? I don't know if he's started one restaurant somewhere or a business somewhere else and all of that, but he's done everything under the sun, everything. Look at that. So if you could and when I was doing all of these things, it was not like SPB garu unnaru ivanni chesaru, so ala nenu anukoledu, but it's only as I grew up and I saw the amount of work that he'd done, I was like, so I can say SPB garu ani. So that was quite something.
సో ఈ ఆంటర్ప్రినర్షిప్ జర్నీ డిస్కషన్ కంటిన్యూ చేస్తే జనరల్లీ అందరికీ చాలా చేయాలని ఉంటుంది, ఏదో డిఫరెంట్ చేయాలనిపిస్తుంటుంది, కానీ ఏం చేయాలో తెలియదు. మీరు ఈ స్కిన్ రూట్ కానీ డీప్ స్కిన్ డైలాగ్స్ కానీ స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఒక క్లారిటీ ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఫామ్ అయిందంటే, మీరు కొరియాకి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ డిస్కస్ చేసి ఇండియాకి కొరియాకి ఇంపోర్టింగ్ అవన్నీ డీల్స్ మాట్లాడుకోవడానికి హౌ డిడ్ యూ ఫార్మ్ దట్ క్లారిటీ? ఆ పాత్ ఎట్లా ఫామ్ చేసుకున్నారు?
ఐ థింక్ చాలా చేయాలి అన్నటువంటి ఫీలింగ్ ఎప్పుడు అందరికీ ఉంటాయి. పీపుల్ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు డూ ద సేమ్ 9 to 5 grind or 10 to 5 grind, whatever there is. But I think the key also is to find something that you genuinely like doing. I don't know if, but then I'm not a true blue business person, business where I have 2 generations of people behind me who have experience in business ante ledu. Academicians gani, musicians gani unnaru, but maybe somebody who has experience in business may give you a better idea about this. However, I felt that if you want to first generation startup alantadu unte, I think there are a lot there. You can get a lot of advice from people who have been in it, but I think the key is to actually find to do something you're really passionate about. You must love doing it as a business, and that is something that you add value to somebody else's, say for example in service. నేను కంప్లీట్లీ సర్వీస్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో ఉన్నా. వెదర్ యాజ్ అ సింగర్, ఇది అండర్ జిఎస్టీ స్టిల్ కమ్స్ అండర్ సర్వీస్. if I'm the skincare and everything else still comes under service. And naku I genuinely liked making people feel better about their skin or hair. And ippudu deep skin dialogues lo vastunte laser hair reduction akkada cheyinchukunna kani dani valla naku burns ayinayi, there was no result. Ante I took it as it gave me joy to give people results, for them to see visible results in both their hair and skin and how they feel about themselves. And deep skin dialogues from the beginning itself, I was very clear that it will be a safe space for all genders. So there is, it's a little bit of a thing that you also need to train your nurses and people to not have all of these biases. There are human beings who come for some gender affirming. For example, a lot of non-binary people, trans people come for laser hair reduction services to look at it as a gender affirming practice. And there are a lot of men who are actually shy, when they come in and they're like, should I ask or should I not ask, or will I be judged? This will be a place where you will not be judged no matter who you are, whichever background you come from. And it's not as if, and I remember my background, I would like to be treated how I am, not based on how much I can pay or how fat my purse is. And that is the core value of what Deep Skin Dialogues is as a service industry. And if entrepreneurship gani, if people want to start something, and if they feel that there is something, there is nothing wrong in trying. Maybe see if your initial investment is something that you can safely gamble with. It's okay. పోయినా పర్వాలేదు అన్నటువంటి అమౌంట్ పెట్టుకుని మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే అక్కడి నుంచి మీరు గ్రో అవ్వచ్చు. A very interesting example that I actually take inspiration from is my husband's assistant called Hanuman. An unbelievable guy. He came to Hyderabad with literally nothing. He was అంటే బరువు మోసి లైట్ ఇక్కడి నుంచి పట్టుకుని అక్కడికి తీసుకెళ్ళి he was only loading and unloading. From there he joined Rahul as an assistant. ఏమీ తెలియదు. He knew nothing. He had no background. All that he knew was to just give initially few days low to give water and to make sure that Rahul was fed on time. And then he learned to drive in Rahul's car, then started driving for Rahul. And then shooting spot velte, he had a natural curiosity. Extremely brilliant guy. I am telling you, if that guy had the economic background that probably a rich kid had, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇక్కడ ఉన్న ఏదైనా ఒక ఎక్విప్మెంట్ అతనికి ఇస్తే he will take it apart and bring it back in 1 hour or 2 hours or something. He is so bright and so brilliant. Every time I look at Hanuman, he is an inspiration for me. So he learned how to do makeup, he learned how to do hair, then he started becoming Rahul's makeup artist at shoot, then he started doing makeup and hair for other people, then he started doing weddings. And now in the 10 years that I have seen him, that 18-19-year-old boy who knew nothing from there, he is now an entrepreneur himself, and he's teaching other people who are from economically underprivileged backgrounds to do makeup, and he's creating more business people. And I'm like, Hanu, where have you come from? Where, right? Unbelievable. And suddenly he found another opportunity in millets, and he has one dosa bandi that is also doing well. I said, wow, dude, ante Hanu, I have to learn a lot more from you. That man has a natural curiosity. I think one of the first things, if you're naturally don't let your curiosity die, is what I would say. That is one of the most important things to keep the fire in us alive, and something that the system kills in us also. The education system also kills the natural curiosity in you. అంటే క్వశ్చన్ అడిగితే ఎందుకు ఇన్ని ప్రశ్నలు, షటప్ అండ్ సెట్ అన్నటువంటి సిస్టమ్ నుంచి హౌస్ కానీ, బికాస్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ టైర్డ్, ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ దాట్, బట్ సమ్ హౌ కీప్ ద న్యాచురల్ క్యూరియాసిటీ ఇన్ యువర్ లైఫ్. ఫైండ్ something, and ideally it should add value into somebody else's life. I think if it is a service or a product, it should make something special. I believe, but I am no expert. I am also learning on the way, and yeah, stay humble.